How's the show begun?
It has begun.
Well, welcome to Corks and Controllers.
That's my job. Hello and welcome back to Corks and Controllers. I'm one of your best friends. Right, Adam? I'm your best friend, right? Victor Operator. And joining me today is the cheesy counselor, cracking up a cold one.
Yeah, a Canada Dry. Hydration is important, y'all. Can't always be alcohol.
Ooh, hello?
I want to make food. I'm hungry.
Oh,
Guest appearance.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in case you guys aren't noticing this lovely cup, Victor coronated me with a PlayStation trophy cup today. What did I do? I just looked at a picture of a video game, and that was good enough for him to give me a trophy.
Well, Victor, you always deserve a trophy.
Yeah. My gaming skills, if there were like levels, I think I'm still a level 1.
It's funny how ginger ale is this color because sometimes you get bronze trophies for literally like doing the first chapter of the game or pressing a button.
It's a participation trophy. Look at this. It's a group projects all over again.
Some bronze trophies in like some games are like so egregious that they'll just be like, hey, you've clicked play in the start menu.
Damn.
I don't know if Canada. I'm not even kidding.
I don't know if Canada Dry just tastes good or if it tastes better because it's in a trophy cup. Yeah, it tastes better because it's in this trophy cup. Sipping it with 2 hands, bitches, because you don't have this trophy cup now, do you?
Anywho, Victor, a little behind baseball, or however the phrasing goes. We're a little delayed on our recording because someone got stricken with.
Oh, my lord, migraines have been
with swords to the head.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I was giving Victor the true story, but the short and sweet story to my malice and as to why I've been indisposed the past few days. There is a monkey in my brain that is crashing symbols every 5 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
And the first day I just could like not even muster to get out of bed. I was just like, I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna lay here in the dark, not answer phone calls, not answer text messages. I'm just gonna lay here like a potato. It was 8 hours of misery before I got some form of relief. Then the following day I wake up and I'm like, okay, today I just feel like I'm getting drawn and quartered, that's manageable. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I have, like, I don't know, my thighs hanging over there, and like my arms like in a garbage can, but it's painful, but it's manageable. Mm-hmm. And then I come back to work and I'm like, oh, I should have just stayed home. And here we are today. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say today we're looking at like maybe, I don't know, a 4 out of 10.
Oh, wow. I feel like you're looking like $1 million. You're looking like a 2 right now.
That's what a lawyer should do.
That's right. That reminds me. I was gonna say something about Kaylin. The Kaylin episode that you should have seen by now. I got a late notification from Octavia being like, "Don't worry, the episode's still going."
Wait. Huh? We didn't do something important today. We didn't do the wait and then don't talk and then clap.
Oh, we didn't do that. You're right. Well, we'll do that a little bit in a bit.
But yeah, Kaylin episode. What were you saying?
Oh man, dang it. It was funny. I had a funny joke and I was just like, I'm gonna diss Kaylin because he's not here.
Aww.
Oh no. Okay, I remember it now. I was gonna say I'm getting my revenge for not having the girls' night glass from the last episode.
That glass is very coveted nowadays.
So I have it now, and I would have fought over it with Kaylin. The next time he came over, but
I just love how Nicole's walking out with the whole big ass bottle of wine.
And
you go, Nicole. You go.
And yeah, but honestly, I don't even know the next time we'll have Kaylin on because he's a busy man. After recording, he was kind of an asshole. He was slurring his words. He trying to had it out for my sister, so it might be a while till you come back.
No, Kaylin, we love you. We can't wait to have you back.
No, disclosure. You can't give absolutely accurate legal advice, but how egregious do my lies have to count as like slander?
I mean, they're already there. They are already
It's not
there.
damaging his reputation. It's not losing his job.
True. But like if I don't know, if a lawyer's office were to get a call from Kaylin saying that I got fired from my job because this guy's saying that I'm abusing women, specifically this guy's sister, on the internet, I'm pretty sure they're going to have some interest in that.
He didn't lose his job. He's fine.
Precisely. Because, yeah. So those are my 2 cents there.
Anyways, that was my one bit for Caleb.
Oh, my goodness. So how have you been this past week?
I've been great.
Ordering tons of wine, tons of alcohols.
Ordering all sorts of stuff. It's fun having to think ahead again because like
you got Valentine's Day around the corner, my guy. What have you ordered for that? Yeah. Dessert wines are going to be rolling up.
I know. Because like in the before times, I was like, back of house kind of stuff. And then now I'm just like man, now I have to think about what people are drinking.
You have to look at the trends.
The trends. Oh man. Like the Negroni Spalato.
Negroni Spagliato, yes. Spare me the misery. I'm getting a migraine all over again.
I wonder how many of those are in the month of February.
No. But the Brachettos, like Caitlin said last episode, that with chocolate is like the one wine that, along with port, that actually does pair with chocolate. Mm-hmm. As far as what the thrifty shoppers will be looking for, you will definitely be getting a higher than average interest in sparkling wines. Mm-hmm. All the future October babies to be born, this is their time. People will be conceived. Beings will become sentient during the next couple weeks. All as a result of some fizz and some booze. So Proseccos, champagnes, Brachettos. And also, I don't know if you've seen these trends, but ciders, like artisanal ciders. Have you seen those making it to your market yet or no? Mm-mm. So there are cider clubs up in Sonoma County now, like literal cideries dedicated to making like ciders from this strain of apple or, from this specific orchard over here.
Oh, dude, sign me up.
So yeah, ciders are becoming a thing. Kombucha regretfully is going nowhere. I wish it never became a thing. Imagine you get the world's second most popular beverage in the world after water, and you decide to let it rot. That's what kombucha is. So sorry, people. I don't like hard kombucha. But think of it like this: what would you do if someone let orange juice go rotten?
Throw it out.
Yeah, you wouldn't drink it, would you? That's what people that drink kombucha do. That's my hot take there. Uh-oh.
Can't be trusted.
Yeah, so hard orange juice, screwdrivers. I love you, but no, don't ferment them. So yeah, kombucha sadly are going to be staying. I think I am foreseeing a sharp decrease in the hard seltzers, thankfully. Mm-hmm. I think people are finally burned out on that. Because we did a tasting of some, didn't we, like 2 weeks ago?
Of a kombucha?
No, of hard seltzers /
Oh, sorry.
Whatever they were.
Apparently I was half listening. Yeah, we had the
group projects, I'm telling you, y'all.
We had the White Claw. White Claw cider.
Not the cider. White Claw doesn't make ciders.
Seltzer.
There we go. Yeah. So we had that. We had the High Noon, and then we had Happy Dad. No, it looks like Happy Dad. We had like 4 different ones.
No, that's what the High Noon was. That's the one you kept mistaking.
So it was the White Claw, High Noon, White Claw.
No.
Or did I already say White Claw?
You already said White Claw.
So White Claw, High Noon. What the fuck is the last one?
The Tayo Sequoia.
No, we had 3 hard bubbly somethings because one of them was a grapefruit, one of them was like a neutral thing, then the other one was like a fruity one, and one of them because I remember we were playing like King's Cup in a way, like over here. Whatever, let's scrap that. But yeah, so those are the trends that I see that are going to be somewhat doable for you. But like I said, people, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Buy your bubblies, and please don't make those October babies. We're better off without them. You're better off without them.
Oh my gosh, are you targeting October babies because of their astral signs or whatever?
I mean, they were made in lust, so I guess that's an appropriate thing. I mean, if you're demonically doing things, you're going to conceive a demon, pretty much. I don't know where this is going. Let's continue the show. How about that?
I just like the idea of like connecting two holidays where it's just like you get down and bone down on Valentine's Day, and then by some miracle, whether stubborn or late or whatever it is, a baby's just born on a Halloween.
Ugh. Yeah, that's an omen right there. Not a good one. That is not a good one. But anywho, so now shall we pour this wine? So let me pour this wine because this is my redemption show with this one, or this wine's redemption show. So a couple months back now.
Yeah, I would say November, I think.
Yeah, this wine made an appearance, and if you saw our short, I did a really ridiculous thing and put the wine in the freezer, and it froze. So the wine was okay, but not very great. So this bottle I was a lot more careful with. This one, I made sure it never left the wine fridge until today. And in that wine fridge, it was a solid 54 degrees. So nowhere near chilling. And it came just straight here. So, where to begin? The wine that we had for this guy right here a couple months back, it was very thin, watery, not very fragrant, kind of insipid, almost like if you could, I don't know, imagine like a glutinous rice beverage. Doesn't sound appetizing.
No.
That's what that reminded me of. It was just gloppy, oily, not very fragrant. This one should be the polar opposite. So this is the Torbreck Cuvee Juveniles. So this is going to be 47% Grenache, 32% Mataro, a.k.a. Mourvedre, 10% Carignan, 9% Counois, and 2% Shiraz because, fuck that. Fuck you, that's why. 2% Shiraz just for the hell of it, Wait, you need a... There we go. You need to hear the lovely screw cap.
You don't know, the winemaker is probably just like, it makes all the difference. Just helps that finish.
The screw cap? Oh, the Shiraz? Yeah, probably. The Shiraz in Australia is like, I don't know, Kraft macaroni and cheese in the States. It's their bread and butter, like this is what they're known for. It's Shiraz. So it's like to add 2%, it's like, fuck you.
Oh, wow. I can smell from here.
Right? We couldn't do that last time.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
So cheers, my good sir.
Cheers.
So very fruity. I get like tons of jam. I get like, I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Like grapey. I hate to describe it this way, but it reminds me of, they're playing.
Oh.
Or are they fighting?
They're playing. Oh my God. But Shadow really gets it. It is like.
Oh, I thought I heard an ow.
Like full body weight being put on Mako right now. Anyways.
So yeah, this reminds me a lot of, what's that classic grape jam?
Classic grape. Oh,
it's a Concord jam, but it's made by a specific brand.
Welch's?
Smuckers?
Huh? Nicole said something.
What was it? There we go. Yes, Welch's. So it reminds me of
love
that.
Welch's.
I do love Welch's. I do. I will drink that by itself and not even.
I will say, if you're editor, if you play back, I said it first though. So. Classic grape. Oh,
it's a Concord jam, but it's made by a specific brand.
Welch's?
Smuckers? Oh, wow. This is lovely. It's like insanely grapey and like jammy and fruity and silky. There's like no obtrusiveness in this wine.
Oh my God, that is all jam.
Yeah, it's just super fruity. It's not sweet by any means. I mean, it is a dry red wine, at the end of the day, but now can you see how fun-loving this little wine is? Mm-hmm. And now you see that, like when my dumbass froze the wine, I robbed us of this.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
I am. It's one of the dumbest things. I think I've only frozen wines in my lifetime, like maybe 5 times. Mm-hmm. 3 of those times I was probably drunk, honestly. Because there's no way a sober me would forget that. Unless I'm in the presence of Mako, that beautiful cat. So I don't want to blame Mako for my mishap, but Mako, it was you. So, what do you think?
I'm trying to find out how to describe this finish. Because it's just like all jam, and then you get a bit of like a nice like dryness to it, and then like it just plateaus out into like a I don't even know.
I don't even know either. It reminds me of like fruit leather meets fruit roll-ups or gushers or something. I don't know. It's like a very high toned fruity. It's like imagine
Yeah,
those
I would agree with the leather part.
like imagine those zebra fruity striped bubble gums.
It's almost like also a leather texture, which I'm finally getting it. I'm learning, you guys. I'm finally realizing what texture in a freaking liquid is.
Well, I mean, it's not no ordinary liquid. I mean, you got to give yourself some credit here. I mean, this is a result of some super complex biochemistry. That's like you have phenols, you have terpenes, you have polyphenols, you have ethanols, you have a whole bunch of like other incongruously complicated chemical reactions going on. So it's not just a fluid. It's you're drinking, for lack of a better term, nature's little chemical elixir.
Amazing.
So I would say this is a pretty damn good wine. So you could find it at our local Costco for a whopping $20 a bottle.
Oh,
It's not expensive
that's
at
amazing.
all. So they're known for some expensive stuff. So their run rig is like, dreamy, like absolutely dreamy. And then they also have, let's see, there's their run rig, and then I'm forgetting what their other one is. There's two like really, really nice ones. The run rig runs about like $300.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that one isn't so attainable, but this one, it's delicious for the price, especially. Yeah. It's like a little baby. It's like a fourth generation run rig. It gives you some elements of what the run rig, but the run rig I think is like 98% Shiraz, 2% Viognier. Mm-hmm. This gives you like a tiny little flinch of like what the run rig is like.
I was looking at the label to see if I can specifically thank someone, but there's no name on it. Just the Torbreck.
It's just Torbreck. That's all it is. It's Torbreck, but they're delicious.
Well, thank you, Torbreck. If you want to send us more of your portfolio.
Yeah. He's a wine buyer now, so I mean, got to convince the man to throw some cash that way. I would insert the super profane rap song about, twerking and plopping it, to get the money, but no, I don't want to do that.
Okay. We'll just blow it right past.
Yeah, it's oh no, actually, I will tell you. So I listened to this oh my God, it was a totally different song. So at the office, so I'm around a bunch of youngins, right? Total of Gen Zers.
Oh my God.
I mean, like,
I'm sorry.
That's not solace enough. None of them really drink wine. I feel so out of touch. I said that I was eating sardines with this like spicy chili crisp, and I walked out and I'm like, man, these sardines are bussin'. They all forced smiles and looked at me like I was crazy. I could tell that they were like, that's not how I use that term. And then at that point, I'm like, I am the old guy in the office.
I was literally about to joke. I was like, did you walk in a room and just went like dead ass and they all just start laughing at you?
So I've heard like no cap or like on my dead associate, or stuff like that. And I just don't get it. So I'm like, I'm going to try this one. No, they weren't buying it. They weren't buying it. So like during our holiday party, none of them touched a glass of wine. None of them. They were all drinking seltzer or hard kombucha. One of them brought a fucking big ass can of like hard, like, wasn't Mike's Hard, but like the harder one. So it's like 10% alcohol. And I'm like, you could get fired for that, but I'm not going to go there. You're just a new hire. So let's not go there. But all this to say that, so they love to like, play their current music. So I had to listen to 100 Gex the other day. Have you heard of them?
I haven't, no.
It's the definition of chaos. It'll give you a migraine if you don't have one. But more recently, I had to listen to the Margarita song by Sexy Red.
Don't know that either.
I know we can't play the music, but if you'd like, just put like the first 10 lyrics on the screen editor and let them decide if this is a profane song or not. But it pretty much goes on to say, give me one margarita, I'm going to do this. Give me 2 margaritas, I'm going to do this. Give me 3 margaritas, then this is going to happen. Give me 4, then that's going to happen. And 5 is going to you're full access. Full access. I don't know how we got to this, but I'd say let's continue the show, my good sir.
Let's.
So would you like to begin or would you like me to begin?
Sure. I'd like to begin because everyone knows I talk way too much.
Or not loud enough.
It's not. Is this better, Octavio?
I felt the vibrations. I felt the vibes, my guy.
Is this better? Anyways, don't zoom in on that. Don't zoom in on that.
Give me 5 margaritas. I'm a full access, everybody.
Full access. Okay. Victor, again, behind the curtain, I was just so excited to talk about this week's video game pairing. I even sent you before, and usually I don't say anything to you.
No, you don't.
There's very few times I actually tell you. I was like, oh,
this one. I clicked on the picture and I'm like, this is a meme. There's a guy that's like famous that like, it's not Power Rangers. Oh my god, we're gonna play the fucking guessing game where I have to figure out who the fucking actor is. Oh my god. It's like this meme of like him smiling and then it's like he's sad. Oh, he came out and like this. It wasn't a movie. Was it a movie? No, it wasn't a movie. I should know this. I watched this shit. I don't know.
Oh man.
Don't tell me though, because I'm
I'm
pretty sure I'm gonna get the name and you're gonna be like so close but so far away. Oh my god. He's not the blue guy. He's not Admiral Thrawn.
What the? Oh,
but he's in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. I was about to say who it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to get to. But I'm like, fuck.
You told me not to say. You told me not to say anything.
So he's not Thrawn. The Thrawn is the blue guy, and I know he's in Star Wars. Oh my goodness! I don't know which of the trilogies or spin-offs or other. No. Sabine has something to do with it. Yeah, I know. Like
even Nicole's off camera trying to guess what this fucker's saying.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like Nicole knows who it is, but it's like you're making it way more complicated than it needs to be. He has a helmet.
Disclosure: Victor told me hit the road by 9. It is 8:22.
Yeah, it's like ding dong, ding dong, ding. Okay, he's not a fucking stormtrooper, but that's as close as I'm gonna get.
It's not the Mandalorian.
Is it?
Has a helmet.
Yeah.
Does he have the whole Baby Yoda thing?
Yeah, he has Baby Yoda. What's his name, Victor?
Pedro Pascal.
He's in the meme in the fucking video thing that you sent me.
The whole time. What are you trying to get to?
It's hard, man. Like, I don't know how the hell you guys can remember so many, like, things about, like, video games.
You know why?
Yeah, but I don't...
Just, like, the same part of the brain, just, like, different information.
Yeah, except I seem to confuse them all the time. I think I've regressed from my initial, like, Quarks and Controllers knowledge to, like, what I'm at now.
So how we got here is that I sent Victor the key art for The Last of Us Remastered, or The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. And now Victor's gone on this bench of trying to figure out who Pedro Pascal is.
Because I saw him on a meme.
He's all on a meme.
Because
he's in the show. He's in the show version.
There we go. That's what that is.
That's what it is. And yeah, so I was really excited about it because, like I said, they released the remastered part version of this game, which is absolutely ridiculous in terms of this game's like
better than Spider-Man?
2-3 years old. And usually in video game culture, usually when you reboot or remaster or re-personify or whatever the heck reboot video games, it's usually because they're older and there's a fan base that would like to play it again. And usually it's really favored when it's like on an old console that no one sort of has anymore. Like if like you can't really expect the majority of modern video game players to like keep their PS1 around, unless of course you're my friend Andy Cazares, who just never transitioned to the current console. The current console has to be like 7 years old for him to finally be like, hey, I finally got one.
Oh my God, me with a lot of things.
So it's going to be like 2050 until my boy gets a PS5. But anyways, and like that's when it's really favored because they're just like, oh, random example, Crash Bandicoot for the PS1 got a remaster. You could play the first 3 games in modern graphics on the current console or even your phone in some cases. Like you don't even need to own expensive hardware to play these games again. And that's when people are like, amazing. And yet Sony's going this route where it's just like, okay, video games are getting more and more and more and more expensive to make. So, and people want to play our older games. So we're just going to rehash games, take like I don't know, like a fifth, a fourth of a normal budget. But who are we kidding? Some of these remasters look very expensive. To just because they know it'll sell, and that's when they done with. That's what they done with part 1. They released like a remastered version of part 1, but then they did it again when the PS5 came out. So now it's like even the most cutting edge graphics. And then people were just like, that sort of makes sense because that game came out on PS3, then it was remastered for PS4, and then they did yet another version that you had to pay full price for the PS5. It's just like, okay, kind of scummy.
God damn. So this thing reinvented itself 3 separate times over the course of how many years?
Like 7, 8, 9. So
Identity Crisis 1.
Yeah, so the first game, very egregious, but sort of made sense. Like it was born in PS3 graphics. It looks amazing now. But part 2 came out at the very tail end of the PS4 era and was like nearly immediately patched when the PS5 came out. And it's just like, this game looks amazing. What can you realistically do with a remaster? And then Naughty Dog just went. Well, it wasn't even Naughty Dog. It was probably one of their remaster studios that was just like,
there it is.
It's like, well, you know what? Oh yeah. It's like, well, you know what? I don't know. Now you have unlocked frames. Now you have support for VVR. Now you have like more like drawn like full detail graphics at more further distances, and it's just like, and for the like the nerdy, like the cutting edge nerdy nerds like me, I'm just like, okay. But here's the thing, though, Victor. I turned it on, and I couldn't tell a difference.
No. This newest release, you can't tell the difference.
I could not tell the difference.
So what did they do? What did the press release say?
The press release was just like, hey, tell you what, we know this game's not that old, and we know you guys are going to like point fingers and accuse us of like double dipping on the same game that's not that old. But how about this? If you owned it previously, you'll just pay $10.
What?
And that's what I did.
So you just gave him $10 for nothing?
I gave him $10 to upgrade my current game.
To what, though?
To the remastered version.
That is exactly the same as the one that you had before you paid the $10.
Now, here's the thing.
Huh.
Here's the thing, Victor.
Damn. Is that catfishing or is that reverse catfishing?
I have to refresh my brain on what the official definition of catfish it is. Because I feel like it's kind of like gaslighting where like people say it so much that it loses meaning.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tricky.
It is tricky, isn't it? But here's the thing, Victor. I'll tell you this. So they updated some graphics, sure. Fine. They've done some more cool things where it's just like, hey, how about we give you an updated game mode where you're in certain sections of the game, but you never leave them. It's just an ongoing onslaught of increasingly difficult enemies, and you just have to survive as long as possible. That's a cool mode. I'll play that when I'm done with the story mode. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Here's what's interesting about this remaster coming in right now. So the first time you play a narrative-heavy video game, you're usually, taking it slow, going like at your own pace, kind of paying attention to what you can sort of recall, and then taking it like at face value, which, by the way, this video game, absolutely brutal emotionally, absolutely visceral in its violence.
Hence the meme.
Just like
first time,
just like gory to the hell, controversial in so many varying opinions. Especially from bigoted people who don't like lesbians or like muscly girls, like every which way. There's so many opinions, like just crazy amounts of headlines.
Which is why it was a popular
within the
show.
first week of the video game, and the show, had its fair share of like some headlines, but mostly people liked it because Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, the Mandalorian. Now I know his name. I knew his fucking. Let's go on.
So like, there's just so much to take on the first time you play. But I've took on an analogy in preparation getting ready to play this game, and that is, I'm gonna fuck up the quote, so maybe I'll let Octavio paste in the real one, but it was something along the lines of, you know, like a true creative and avid reader is a rereader.
Oh, okay, that's commendable,
right? So playing it the first time, you're just like, you know, you're one person. Playing this game a second time, like 3-4 years later, you've changed. Maybe not just physically.
But let me tell you this: would you buy that same book for $10 more just for a fancier cover? You know, why don't you get at Nicole? She buys books for the covers and the hardcover versions all the time. Are they resales of the same one?
They sure are. Those are all books she's had before. Anyways, I don't want to drag her out here. She's gonna yell at me. But anyways, and but like 3-4 years later, my point is, like, you're a completely different person, and it's not just physically. Like, you think differently. You've absorbed that story, kind of like melded it into your life in whatever shape or form that may have come, and now you're seeing it again, being just like, I'm seeing even more of this. I didn't even notice these background characters. I didn't even notice they said this before. I didn't even notice that, like, one of the characters had like this like squint to their face, and they're just like, that kind of changes the scene a little bit.
But is that appreciation, or is that just you noticing more things? That was all there before, right? You just didn't notice it.
It was all there before, right? I would say it's a little bit of both.
So it's more personal growth than the actual video game getting better.
Well, the video game's amazing to begin with. Let me start there. The video game was amazing to begin with. Absolutely top tier. Like, you can watch it as a movie and like feel just as satisfied without even like touching any buttons. Like you can sit on the couch right next to me, and maybe I'm not going to commit to that. It's a very long game. I was like, you can sit next to me and watch me play the entire thing. You will be satisfied with what you see.
How long is the game? Guarantee it.
Well, let me tell you, even with the Victor migraine delays, I still didn't have time to beat it.
Oh, this is a multi-day game. Holy shit. Okay, I thought this was like a 6-hour game.
I'm sure you can do it in one finishing, but you do need to eat and go to the restroom eventually.
And tend to other human duties.
I think I'm 14 hours in.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I don't know if I have this. That's like watching a Harry Potter marathon times like 5. Actually, no, I think the Harry Potter marathon is actually longer.
To be fair, part of the game is like scavenging for goods, and I cover every inch of the levels. So
you're not missing anything this time?
I'm not missing a thing. But here's the official pairing. Here we go. So, The Last of Us, very bold, right? It was very controversial when it came out. Lots of flying opinions. It is like I said before, absolutely gut-wrenching in what it does to you emotionally and what it does to your eyeballs when you just see the many ways people are not even killed, like destroyed in that game, right?
Uh-huh.
And on top of that is like the precedent that was set when you've interacted with this bottle before. Mm-hmm. And then how you've grown to like tasting it now.
Oh, this is not going to be a cheap pairing. Let me tell you that right now. There's only one wine that comes to mind, and I'm already in my head. You're saying all this, and I'm like, oh, our viewers aren't going to like this. If you
don't already own the game, you're paying like $60-$70, and you're paying for this bottle. So I hope you owned it.
Yeah. So the TLDR, is that what it is, or is it TDLR?
TLDR.
Yeah, the TLDR is the 1927 Boal Madeira.
Oh my god!
Now the actual, that's going to cost you about $1,000 a bottle. But the long story here is that this Madeira is this.
You know, I paid $10, right?
So I'm getting there. So the lovely thing is that when this wine was released, it was already expensive. The wine hasn't changed. It's not going to fucking change. It's just that there's... Okay, so the story with Madeira. So Madeira, like the Boal, what happens is that Madeira is the most abused, tortured style of wine out there. Mm-hmm. So do you remember the one that we went to lovely Westbrook and we had that little dessert wine?
Oh, of course.
That's down the like little shack just baking in the sun. So wine.
Now I want to cling the wall because that's a good memory.
That is good memory, right? So take this Torbreck, for example. Two things that will obliterate this wine that are its ultimate, I don't know, not chromiums. What's the shit that Superman's allergic to?
Kryptonite.
There we go. That shit it kills him, apparently. It's not allergic to, but I mean, allergies can kill you. Anywho. So the kryptonite for this little wine right here are two things: light and heat. Oh, and also oxidation. They kind of come together. So the moment this wine is exposed to oxygen and is heated and is in the presence of light, you're going to fuck this wine up. Madeira, oh, this poor thing. So it starts off as any other wine, right? It's nurtured in a barrel. So think of the little, wine in the barrel like, oh, it's a little baby. Cute, 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 whatever. And then the winemaker says, time to die. So they take these barrels out to the sun and they just bake in the sun all day long. So this wine is heated. Then when the nighttime comes, it's cold, so it shivers to death. Then the next day, it gets right back up, gets heated again. And they're topping these barrels off, right, and whatnot, as it goes on, the angel share, whatever. But when the wine is finally bottled, it is brown. There is, technically speaking, no life left of that little baby. It's just static. So these wines, once they're bottled, they don't necessarily, it's like whiskey. It's not going to get better in the bottle per se. So what happened with this specific wine that I tasted in San Francisco it was a 1927 Boal Madeira. I remember I walked up and I was like, did a double take. I'm like, what the am I reading? It's not 2027. That says 1927. What the fuck? And so I walk up and I'm like, oh, what's this? And they're like, oh, bottled in 1927. And I'm like, huh, or made in 1927.
All right.
And I was like, huh, I got to get a sample of that. Oh my fucking God, Victor. That was the most beautiful fucking thing in the world.
Wow.
So the best way to describe that wine, oh my God, imagine the essence of almonds and walnuts with just like butter and honey. It's a really simplistic rendition, but it tasted almost like nowhere near as good as it, but a good example would be like a pecan pie.
Oh.
It had this nutty caramel like flavor, like the alcohol was like non-existent. And so I'm like, like, do I want to order this for our employer? And then I look down and I see the trade price and I'm like, the fuck? So the, wholesale price, $599.99. So that means we would be selling it for like about $1,200 at least.
Yeah.
And I asked the lady, I'm like, I know this wine is already old, and she's like, oh, no, honey, this wine, it's going to stay the same. You're going to change. And I'm like, huh. And so back then I was like, what, maybe 27, 28, a little bit younger. And I was like, bitch, what? Your channel, what the fuck? Like back then I was an arrogant little prick and I'm like, I know that this wine is going to change. So I go to Google all angrily, And then sure enough, it says right there, yeah, Madeiras, they don't really improve with age. And I'm like, so really, she was right. Okay. So if I wanted, can I do a quick search right now so I could tell you exactly what this wine is going for nowadays?
On your phone or this laptop?
Either or. Actually, let's do both.
Okay.
So it's 1927 Boal Madeira.
27. Not Boal.
Boal, Boal, and then Madeira. Oh, look at this. That's the average price at the moment.
Ay.
So yeah, take the. I mean, I guess it's kind of representative. What, $10 out of 60? That's like what, 30%? No, like 25, 15%. So I mean, again, if this wine was retailing for $1,200 back in the day, it's not that bad. That now goes for $4,943. So for our tech bros out there, here you go. Get yourself some Boal Madeira and call it a day. So yeah, that would be my pairing. Because when you were talking about it, you're like, okay, when this game was released, the second edition, whatever, it was magnificent. It was beautiful. Like, it's a great game. Like, it, strikes you like it's so Madeira is very controversial because it's not a, age does nothing to this.
Wow.
It doesn't, So that little baby that was killed in the barrel and then bottled turned into like this immortal that we really don't truly understand. Mm-hmm. Like, how in the fuck am I going to appreciate a nearly 100-year-old wine when I'm only like 30? This Madeira stands over me and says, literally, that if this wine had an attitude, it would look at me and say, this is what he's going to be drinking me. Like, not even Hitler himself, or not even, like Justinian the First of, the Byzantine Empire. Like, it's you. So I don't know if you got that feeling from that game, when you're like, this game is great. And you're probably just thinking, the game is probably thinking like, you inexperienced little shit. You're trying to tackle me. And it kind of worked because the second time you played it, you're like, oh, I didn't recognize this. And you just proved the game's right,
That's usually how I feel when I play the hard difficulty, which is called Grounded. Aptly named. Like an enemy will shoot you once in the stomach and be like, sit down. Start that whole chapter all over.
Yeah. I mean, so how many times have I been able to try this wine again? Once. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, this wine is so good. What the hell, man? And back then I didn't know what the price was because there was no price sheet. I was just like, okay, so it was a little, gut punching, almost like I got shot in the stomach right now, seeing it's nearly $5,000.
After you sample it, you're like, is that what I just drank?
Yeah. So, and it's like the pours weren't skimpy. It was like that. It's like this was this had to have been 2019, 2018, maybe.
No, Victor, I don't want to ruin any potential future pairings, but what do you think the most expensive thing you sampled without knowing the price was?
Romani Conti. So I knew that the Romani Conti was expensive. I knew in my head like what the price range was, but it wasn't until I saw the vintage and I'm like, fuck, I don't know how much this bottle of wine is. I know that it runs like in the thousands, and so I search it up and $27,000 a bottle.
You got humbled as hell. You just sat right down.
I thought it was a magnificent, beautiful wine, but yeah, I looked up the price and I'm like, huh. Even though my name isn't $27,000 richer, my body is. I got, at least like $5,000 worth of, grape juice flowing through me at this very moment.
But Victor, we're all made out of stars.
Yeah, stars are made of grapes, or grapes are made of stars as well. So, hey, same thing. So I like to think of it like this. Some place in my body is, I don't know, a piece of bone that, like the polyphenols or the terpenes, were used from that wine to build something in that bone. And so I like to think that my bones are like, they're testaments to all the wines I've drank.
That is a very interesting thought.
So I like to think that somewhere inside of me is that 2002 Romani Conti chilling next to that 1927 Boal Madeira saying, hey, how you doing? Look at this plebeian drinking us.
Where we were talking about like how much is Elon Musk worth. It's like, what am I literally worth in terms of what my body has like absorbed and adjusted into my body?
Yeah, if my body were to be worth money, depending on the wines I've drank, I'd be a millionaire, my guy. I would be a millionaire. But sadly, liquids don't automatically equate to cash flow. Well, I'm not worth millions. My body is.
Well, here's hoping, Victor, that if you were worth millions, hopefully you still do the show with me.
Oh, of course. And I would probably be buying that 1927 Boal, to drink on the show and be like, look, everybody.
On the future table, and I'll be like, ugh.
It really is one of those, because again, Madeira stands in its own league. It's not like any other wine. Madeira's only equal is, and even then, if I could call it an equal, would be like sherry.
Now, when you say like Madeira, like, how specific ones like are just run through the gauntlet in terms of how it's being made. Is that the same way of ports? How ports are
kind of. So ports are a little bit more of a when you think of like a family, right? And you have like the kids are these dessert wines. The rich entitled one is the Sauterne, aka the botrytis one. Okay. So you have Trocken, Biernos Lace, Tokaj, Sauterne, all in that little league. Then you have the punk kid. That's what I would call Marsala. There are good Marsalas out there. But they're unique. They're far and few. Then you have the Brainiac. That would be Madeira. Mm-hmm. Madeira is the one that, holds the stories and has the wisdom and whatnot far beyond their age. Then you have the pretentious one that's not what it should because it's confused. That would be Sherry. Sherry's all over the fucking place. I can never solidly recommend a Sherry without knowing the person. that's going to be drinking it. That's how complicated it is. It's like it gets very finicky. And then you have the know-it-all. That would be port. Port is just like it is literally the colonizer of the wines. The only reason port exists is because the goddamn... no, let me rephrase this. The only reason why port exists is because these rich English assholes were fighting with the French and couldn't get wine from France. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, hey, Portugal, you're right there. You want to send us some wine? And the Portuguese were like, yeah, whatever. We'll send you some wine. Turns out the first few shipments were shit, because obviously when you send wine overseas, it's going to be exposed to sun and wind and shit.
Right.
And then the Portuguese had a great idea. They're like, you know what? Let's add a shit ton of brandy to these barrels. And it turns out that, I don't know how the English discovered this, that they actually age pretty well. So port is like Madeira in the sense that it's boozy and it can age a long time, but port gets treated with a lot more dignity. So the grapes for quality ports are almost always foot stomped. Madeira never gets that respect. And then the port
beaten with bats.
Yeah, and then the ports, it's like they're monitored closely to see, like the fermentation, what's the sugar level at. And then once the sugar level is at a place where they want it, then at that point they add neutral brandy pretty much. And with your nicer port houses, it's pretty much like unbarreled cognac that they add to the grape juice. That kills off all the yeast. And then at that point, those barrels are either kept in the barrel. That would be like a tawny port or a ruby. Ruby ports to some degree. And then you have your late bottled vintage ports. But the really, really good ones, they get bottled immediately. And those become vintage ports. Vintage ports, oh my God. Those can easily age and improve for like 50, 60, 70 years. Uh-huh. But after some time, they will give up. And at the very end, only one will stand. And now at this point which one that one is. It's a little wine called Madeira.
All right.
It has been through hell and high water, and it is going nowhere. If the aliens destroy Earth and somehow bottles of Madeira are left intact, the Madeiras will see the downfall of the aliens. Mm-hmm. That's how long a Madeira can last.
I have one more annoying question.
Yes.
So how come Madeira, sherries, Marsalas, how come they're like sort of synonymous with cooking wines?
Oh my God. I don't want to blame the English again, but it always goes back to those fuckers. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you guys. Let's go back to the colonizing Englishmen, and okay. Yeah, because there was never a woman doing the colonizing. So Marsala, sherry, they would cook pretty much with the bottom swill. So back in the day, before Boal, was a thing, these Madeiras and sherries, they were made to be cheap and very rough. Mm-hmm. As in, like, it would be like me and you putting, Welch's white grape juice in a barrel and laying out in the sun for like 10 years and then saying, we're going to bottle this Madeira. You think it's going to command a high price? No, but we got to sell it somehow. Yeah. So $5 Madeira becomes. And Madeira, even after all that time, still has the sugar. It still has some sort of acid that makes it great for cooking. It really does enrich a sauce. Same thing with sherry. Same thing with Marsala. So like chicken Marsala benefits a lot, obviously from the Marsala. Cream sherry does well in desserts. Then you also have like Fino sherries that does better in like some kind of soups and stews and whatnot. Madeira is the one that I always look at and I'm like, I'm scared of you. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a $10 Madeira. After that experience, I'm like, I'm never fucking with you again. As in, like, if I'm going to approach, I'm going to be like, you benevolent being, am I worthy of your presence? Because I'm not trying to get punished by the wine gods for underappreciating you ever again. So that's my official pairing. It would be the 1927 Boal Madeira that you can find at your local liquor store for $4,943. I'm sorry, y'all, but that was the pairing.
God damn it. Well, all right. Well, excuse this, listeners, as well as Otavio for editing all this. Let's get on to the next part of the show.
Alrighty, so let me tell you about this beautiful little wine. So it all starts in Sonoma County, and we're gonna go to the Dry Creek Valley.
Oh, shit!
You know this?
No, sorry, unrelated. God damn it!
What?
During my whole spiel about The Last of Us Part 2, I meant to say that the game, pretty much the majority of the entire time, is set in Seattle. I don't know if that would have changed your pairing, but
no.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
yeah.
We'll move back.
I'm
so sorry. I remember I was just like, when I get on this episode, I'm gonna be like Seattle, because it's the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, there are some wineries a little bit north of Seattle. I'm forgetting the name of the appellation. It's an AVA. It's not Puget Sound. Puget Sound is way the fuck on the other side. It'll come to me like in the middle of me talking.
Although, sorry, spoilers. The very tail end of the game, you end up in Santa Barbara, but.
That would have done something, because there is this lovely winery in Santa Barbara that I've had my fair share of trifles with, and I don't think that our disagreements are still fully resolved.
Okay. Anyway,
so that could have been an alternate ending, actually. You know.
I'm sorry, listeners. It's just that in my head, I was just like, no, you made a point to talk about Seattle. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
So yes, in the Dry Creek Valley, there exists this little tiny winery. They don't really take appointments. They're old-fashioned in a sense that they don't really care about modern trends, but they make damn good wines. Mm-hmm. And so I've only had the privilege of going there like maybe once or twice. But this wine that I had maybe about a week ago, I think now, comes from a little place called A. Raffanelli. So Raffanelli, I think, A. Raffanelli. The Cabernets from A. Raffanelli are singular and unique. So you're in the middle of what I would call enemy territory. The Dry Creek Valley is not known for Cabernet. It is known for something called Zinfandel, which A. Raffanelli makes a really, really good example too. So I'm going to set the scene for you. Mm-hmm. You're a little bit, I think, northeast of the city of Healdsburg. Beautiful little city.
God, I love Hillsborough.
Oh my God, I've
been there once for like
Costo
2-3 hours, and I'm already like, why can't I stay?
Right? Why can't I live there? Like, the square's so beautiful. But anywho, so you go northeast of Healdsburg, and you're in the Dry Creek Valley. Everywhere you look, you see these vines that are old, scraggly. Those are Zinfandel grapes or Zinfandel vines. But somewhere out in there, you have a few little plots of Cabernet. Cabernet ordinarily does not like the heat you find in the Dry Creek Valley. So already it's at a disadvantage. You're in enemy territory where everyone and their mom knows about your competitor or your main enemy called Zinfandel. Mm-hmm. The weather is not conducive to who you are. And somehow this winery has decided, you know what, we're going to make our name on you. So you're the chosen one. Fucking cliche, a gajillion video games on that alone.
You are the chosen one.
You are the chosen one. But this is one of the few times that I myself have been like, what the fuck? As in, this is a wine that stops you in your tracks. And the first thing I remember smelling is something eucalyptus pretty much. It's a very unique smell, especially in wine, because you smell it and you're like, huh, you smell like Napa Valley. You smell like Bordeaux. What the hell is this? Mm-hmm. So you have some very unique abilities and or traits that distinguish you very easily from everybody else. And in my opinion, I would say puts you at an advantage to make a name for yourself. But here is the ulterior motive or the plot. I guess you could say your boss, in this case it would be A. Raffanelli. Mm-hmm. They are on a mission to make sure that you are not really discovered. Yeah, they'll talk about you to other people they like. But for the most part, no one knows you're there. But you're tasked with pretty much running the show on the underground. Mm-hmm. So, this Cabernet, oh my God, I should bring one on the show. That's what I should do. That will not be a cheap bottle, but oh my God. So this Cabernet smells like eucalyptus. When you take a sip, the first thing I noticed was like scorching acidity, which again, don't expect in the Dry Creek Valley. Mm-hmm. And then came like this little rush of like, have you ever had like lightly roasted coffee? Like literally like just lightly roasted, mm-hmm, yeah. Where you taste more of like the fruity, I don't know, like cocoa-y kind of aspects of the coffee without it being like overly bitter. Yeah. It tasted like that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't chocolate. It wasn't coffee. It was something that just reminded me of like, for lack of a better term, a really goddamn good cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. But then it had like the texture of like milk. It was fucking weird because it's like you're tasting this like really inviting, comforting kind of flavor, and it has the texture. But then out of fucking nowhere, you get socked in the face with the tannins, and you're like, bitch. Like, what the hell, man? You know, like, you have all these little powers, and how is it that Dry Creek Valley is Zinfandel country?
Yeah.
So, that is my pairing for you, my good sir. In a nutshell, you're in enemy territory. You have special powers. No one really wants you to control the show, but you're assigned to. What do you do?
I'll fuck them up. Disclosure, I'm an aspiring coffee connoisseur. One day I dream of a prosumer espresso machine.
I thought you were going to say like a coffee plantation.
And I'm just going to be like... anyways. Yeah, so one thing came to my mind when you mentioned two things. One, going against trends.
Yes.
And then, but you had like this, like you've had this little bit of notion of like, you're still in your comfort area though, but like, you're just going down and you're just mowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mowing down. You just mow, like, you're just like, I'll go taste this shit. Fucking, it's just, oh man. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. That's why I kind of like lost my words, but it reminds me of taking their video game studio.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because their entire catalog sort of just does that in terms of the games they make. So I'm thinking of a Finnish video game studio called Housemarque.
That is tasting amazing.
I know. I was about to say, like, I didn't want to interrupt your story, but I was like, when I re-poured, I was like,
God damn, that finish is like ultimate. Like, I think this bottle of wine's trying to whisper to me, like, dude, that finish is like, am I like hallucinating? Is it not creamy as hell?
Is it whispering to you like
half and half?
Is it whispering to you, being like, are you gonna freeze me again?
It might hear it's probably hearing me talk all this shit about Madeira and all that stuff. It's like, I'm gonna show you, bitch. So take a sip. Tell me what that finish feels like, because I literally think that it feels like this creamy, rich texture that I really don't know how else to describe.
Yeah, all those comments about like the leatheriness is like gone.
Yeah.
And now it's just like,
is this velvety rich, but like, I don't know.
It's like sliding down.
Yeah.
My palate all the way to like the back.
And there's no bitterness.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
I guess that's what what were you saying? You said something else other than silky. What did you say before?
Velvety, creamy.
Velvety, creamy. Oh, creamy. Yeah. That's what
it reminds me of like half and half. Like the texture you get when I don't know how many of you hooligans drink half and half at home. I do.
Hooligans.
I personally love taking a little swig of half and half when I'm just like, I want something indulgent.
Let's normalize hooligans. I want to call people hooligans more often.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
The hoochie hooligans. No.
Victor.
No, that's a way to demonize that real quick.
So I was thinking of a Finnish video game developer, Housemarque, which is currently owned by Sony.
So good.
Now, I know you guys probably saw me sneaking some notes, but I did remember that they were Finnish, and I did remember that they're owned by Sony, but because of course I'm a Sony fanboy, of course. But no, so Housemarque in the very beginning was just sort of just like, hey, we're here, we're punchy, like you're gonna play these games and like you're gonna love them because like you have like this nostalgia. Not necessarily that the nostalgia part is part of the pairing, but like just because you love familiarity, you love arcade style games. Mm-hmm. So they were making games like a Super Stardust. They made Super Stardust and like twin stick shooters. I'm forgetting the zombie one. It's like Dead of some. I don't know. Octavio, please put it up. I thank you in advance. And
so courteous.
And yeah, and every game that they made is just like sort of the symbolism of video games, where it's just like, yeah, you're here to just have fun, have colors, have like physical and visual feedbacks, and you're just here to just like rack up a lot of kills or rack up a lot of points and just have a really fun time.
Damn, so they really just want to cater to what you want.
Exactly. There you go. And then, but the more they did that, the more it went against trends. Because as everyone was going like, oh, you have to have like a live service game, meaning that it's a video game that either has multiplayer components or has like changing factors that make you want to come back, like fire up those servers, connect to the internet, and like play the game again. Whether it's like, I don't know, like Left 4 Dead, which is like a continually multiplayer game, Overwatch, which is a game that like gives you new maps, new characters, and it's like every game was going that way. If it wasn't live service and continuously asking you to keep paying money, a publisher didn't want to touch it.
Yes. And they didn't do that?
Housemarque didn't do that. They're just like, we believe in arcade action. We believe that's what, at the very bare minimum, that's what gamers want.
Yeah.
They want to see action. They want to see lights. They want to achieve something and then strive to achieve more after that, which is like kind of how our arcade games are. Like at the very base, you remember video games where like you see a score counter in the corner and you like to see it go up and up and up and see if you can get even higher than that. And that's what they kept doing until finally they hit this wall where where even the CEO admitted being just like, we want to do action arcade forever, basically. But we realized that people like the graphics, they like the high-end fidelity, they like the sounds, and they like the thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to meet you in the middle. And they came out with this video game called Returnal.
Returnal.
Now, Returnal hits on a bunch of things that are within trend settings, which is a third-person camera, a human character, a roguelike or Souls-like kind of thing, meaning that when you die, you sort of lose the things that you've collected, but not everything. Like you sort of kept your skills and like whatever weapons you kept, but you did have to start the level all over. But they went against trends again by being just like, we're going to keep it arcadey. We're going to keep it like focus on lights, focus on bullet hell dodging, focus on just bombastic shit happening, because at the end of the day, it's a goddamn video game.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
You want feedback, you want visuals, and you want this stuff, but we'll give you that, but we'll also give you like the character, the narrative, the graphics, the fucking like all this stuff. But like we're gonna keep it a video. At the end of the game, you don't want like some realistic hoity-toity thing that like takes itself too seriously.
Yeah.
You want to progress, and we're going to give you that. And I think Housemarque,
they do it.
I praise them for that.
How successful, how well known are they to the average gamer?
Probably not at all.
They are A. Raffinelli. If I drop the name A. Raffinelli around wine connoisseurs, one of them might be like, is that in like Oregon? It's like, yeah, you're a state off, but yeah, you're close enough.
And it's weird because like people who like Souls like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, the From Software games, I never 100% truly understood why those games became mainstream, because at their core, they're difficult games. And I feel like that doesn't mesh well with the mainstream. I think mainstream likes like Nintendo games or sports games or like the Call of Duties.
Yep.
But when they play a Housemarque game or From Software game, they're going to get the shit kicked out of them, but yet they sold millions of copies. So I feel like it's on top of like this, I think it's a niche on top of a niche that Housemarque grabbed, and they did it so fucking successfully. And I praise them for that. Shout out Housemarque.
And just, hey, send me a little sticker, please. Housemarque, please.
Send me that dope. What was it? Was it a sweater? They had some merch, and it was like the coolest thing ever. Oh, 1 second. Let me grab this real quick. Victor, if you will please vent to the audience while I go grab this.
About what?
I don't know, anything.
Oh, let's play another game. Okay, so wine trivia. Can I guess all the approved grapes of Bordeaux? Okay, here they are. Oh, Christ. Okay, so for red Bordeaux, you have, oh my God, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Carmenere, Malbec, said Petit Verdot. Let's see. I got Carmenere. I'm gonna move on to the white. So there's Sauvignon Blanc, Semillon, Muscadel, and then there are the odd ones. So for the red ones, there is Torbreck Nacional.
Bruh.
No, I think it's Tempranillo. And then for the whites, Albarino and oh my god, it's a fucking grape that you find in Arbois. That's all I got. Okay, how many did I get right? Hopefully I got a lot of them right. Anywho, we're back with Victor.
We're back.
I better have gotten them all right.
I love the game so much I bought their soundtrack.
What the fuck? You are a fan, my guy.
This game is amazing. Please, for God's sakes, if you own a PlayStation console, and it's on PC as well, so you don't even have to own the PlayStation or any PlayStation hardware. If you even have a laptop, like just buy it, put on low settings.
You are like the ultimate Returnal fanboy. Look at this.
This game's worth playing. It's amazing.
Okay, so please send this guy a sweater at least, and send me a sticker. That's all I want.
Oh, that was my point. Yeah, Returnal has cool merch. This is one of them I bought. This is the vinyl. Look at that. Come on.
Damn, and you haven't even opened it, have you?
Oh, I listened to it, of course.
Oh,
Of course
you
I
have opened it.
No, I'm one of those collectors where I'm like, come on. You bought it because of the aesthetic and the way it looks, but you got to open your stuff. You got to use it.
Stop attacking me, Victor. That's how I feel about my wines.
Okay, wines are a little different.
Yeah, I have to wait till they mature.
Only by the nature of aging that wines are different.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to send a 4-year-old off to Harvard and expect them to get a PhD. It's like you got to wait till they grow up.
But if you enter someone's home and they're just like, oh, check out what I've been aging, and it's like a fucking, I don't know, like a Kendall Jackson, whatever, blah, 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 you would be like, what the fuck are you doing, my man?
That's painful. I don't even want to imagine that a Kendall Jackson Chardonnay after 15 years. Have you ever felt like that tooth pain that you get like when you eat something super cold or super hot or you just bite the wrong way? That's how it just old Kendall Jackson just.
I feel like the only video game equivalent is like you go to a GameStop because you're like, this is the only place that had like a sale on something particular I was looking for, but whatever. And you're in there, and while you're in there, like someone's relative is just like, it's like my son's looking for. Random example. My son's looking for a Spider-Man game. Probably talking about the newest one, the newest amazing one, and they're just like, "Oh, is it the new one for PS5?" And they're like, "I'm not sure. I think they have an older PlayStation." They're like, "Oh, maybe do they have a PS4 or 3? Do you know that, ma'am?" And they're just like, "I don't know." They're like, "I think the 3. Okay, well here's Web of Shadows. Why don't you play that?" And then like, that's the only part where you're just like, "No, what are you doing, my man?" Like the example I just said. But instead, you just kind of watch in the corner and being like, that kid's going to have a fucked up day.
Yeah. Old Kendall Jackson. Oh my God. Of all the horrible wines I've been served, I've never had the fortune of getting that one thrown upon me. Oh, Lord. I'm going to pass out. That just, ugh. That's like, imagine you leave, I don't know. Let's talk about our beloved half and half. Leave it in the fridge for 2 years, and then you open it up, and you're like, did I just smell death, or am I dead?
I'm sorry for all these questions, Victor, but now I'm curious to see, like, what is the worst thing you saw someone try to age?
Okay, so the worst thing I think I've ever... I mean, if this isn't the worst, this is like definitely a contender.
If it's criminal enough, you don't have to name them. That would be slander.
I'm not going to name the person, but I'm going to definitely name the wine. So this winery has been around for some years. And at first I was like, there's no way you bought that wine that many years ago. And then they show me the bottle and I'm like, this is bad. This is really, really bad.
Literally, when you open that, it will be bad.
My guy. So let's see. This was in 2020. So I think they got this bottle of Stella Rosa like in 2003. Oh, it gets even worse.
Oh!
It's a Moscato, not even a red. That thing was like the color of beer. It was gross. And they're like, we're saving it for a special occasion. And I'm like...
Oh, so it wasn't even like for aging. They were just like, oh, dude, this is going to be like the best celebration wine ever.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were thinking.
Oh, my God.
I did not have it in my heart to look at them dead in the eye and say, this thing was dead 20 years ago.
Disclosure, I know some things thanks to Victor, but comparatively, I'm a wine noob, and I'm already hurting.
Yeah, that one, they're still holding on to that bottle, and I did not tell them because I'm like, if anything, they're going to have a good laugh when they open it.
Do you think it's still closed?
No.
Okay.
Oh, is it still closed? I hope it is, because they've been taking sips of it every year. Oh, my God. Oh, no.
Wait, they have been doing that, or you hope they have
I hope they have not been doing that. That would be horrible. But as far as the worst thing that I've seen somebody try to age,
I think I got a migraine, guys.
Oh, there's a lot of contenders, but I think the worst one I have seen attempted to age is Sauvignon Blanc every now and then can age very well. I think I talked about the Joseph Phelps one not too long ago on this show. But I was at the house of a wine collector, and so he has like hundreds of bottles. I'm already sweating like this bad. And so this guy has had a whole bunch of, Napa Valley Cabernets from the 70s, from the 80s, same thing with the Merlots. And he was all like, you want to see my whites? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I was expecting, like French Burgundy, Sauterne, German Riesling.
You want to see my fragile whites?
My dude, it was an old... Why am I blanking on it?
Yeah.
This brand. It's made by Mondavi, Woodbridge.
Oh, Mondavi. Oh.
It was like this, it was like this 1980 or 90, something from the 90s, Sauvignon Blanc on the old label. And I'm like, and I remember I just looked at him and I'm like, do you like white Bordeaux? He's all like, no, not really. And I'm like, well, white Bordeaux is made with Sauvignon Blanc. That will kind of give you a hint or, what you're expecting here. And I was like, that bottle might sell for a lot of money, because it's, I'm just shooting shit out of my ass at this point. I'm pretty sure somebody out there is wanting to spend money on that year because that was the year someone was born or whatever, or just the novelty. But I'm
like a coin.
Yeah, but I'm like, you shouldn't open that. You should just cherish it. It's just not, it's something that is just so rare. And he's all like, it tastes like shit, doesn't it? And I was like, yeah, old Napas are great, but this is not one of them, man.
There's a difference between finding a quarter that says 1992 and finding a wine that says 1992.
Yeah, or a quarter that says 1822 or 1789 or something. So, yeah, there's a lot of horrible things that I've seen that people have been aging. So Mayomis are one of them. Back in the day when the Wagner owned Mayomi, they would think that would age very well. Rombauer Chardonnays, I can't tell you how many of those I've seen from the early 2000s. That's going to be shit.
I don't know how you feel about Rombauer.
Yeah, Rombauer's bad enough already, but the Chardonnays, that ain't going to age gracefully. Let's see. I've seen a lot of old Montelena Chardonnay, but that stuff does age fairly well. As far as Cabernet goes...
Chateau Montelena?
Yeah, Chateau Montelena. Chardonnay, actually, if you look at the cork, it's a DM30. They guarantee that cork for 30 years, and I'm pretty sure that wine is going to survive well over 30 years. That's one... There's a reason why that one is expensive. It won the Judgment of Paris back in... I'm rusty on this. It was the Judgment of Paris of 1976. I think it was 76 when the Judgment of Paris was held.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, so that was ranked as the top wine in the world. It beat out all these famous French white wines. And back then, Montelena Chardonnay was going for $5 a bottle.
I can tell I'm learning because even then you mentioned the Judge of Paris and a Chardonnay ad, and it somehow made me go, really?
Yeah. But that's how California earned its chops. So Chateau Montelena won the whites, and then Stag's Leap Wine Cellars won the red. And they beat out a whole bunch of first growth and second growth.
That's why I was...
Yeah, no, so Montelena, that's a Chardonnay that will get better with time.
Alrighty.
But yeah, so that one, when I see it in collector's houses, I'm like, fine choice, my guy. Not a fine choice, Farniente Chardonnay. I have not had one old Farniente Chardonnay that tastes what it's supposed to be advertised as. And if you go to the Farniente winery, they'll be like, our Chardonnays ain't incredibly. I had a 2014 the last time I was there, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, this tastes like rancid butter. This is disgusting. And the guy's just talking the caramel, the toffee. And I'm like, old Chardonnay's not supposed to taste like this, dude. This is
Bro, you're having a stroke. That's burnt butter.
Yeah, that's just a hella oxide. I've had cherries that don't taste as bad. It's that bad. So yeah, Farniente doesn't age very well. Frank Family Chardonnay, same shit. That's just canola oil that you got in a bottle. That ain't gonna get better. Any kind of Camus Cabernet going back to the early 2000s, that stuff is vinegar at this point. From the 90s, the 70s, Camus Cabernet, great. Once you get to 2000s, no. All you motherfuckers buying special selection, you're in for a rude awakening when you open that shit up in 20 years. That is not going to age very well. And you're spending $180 on a bottle on that? No. Let's see. One other famous contender, Veuve Clicquot Champagne. Listen here, motherfuckers. So let me tell you.
This is a short right now.
Yeah. So when you decide to get married and you decide to splurge on this fancy bottle of wine and, celebrate when you're, your 10th, 15th, 20th anniversary, make sure it's a vintage champagne. Don't get that orange label one. In 25 years, that's going to taste like shit. The bubbles are going to be gone. It's going to be brown. It's going to taste like, I don't know, rye bread with like an English, like a fucking egg McMuffin. It's not going to taste good. And the same shit goes for your Proseccos, for your Cavas. No. Splurge on that bottle of Dom Perignon. That will age for the 20 years. Not your goddamn Veuve Clicquot, not your goddamn La Marca. No, don't do that, please. I'm asking you from my heart. Don't do that. That hurts me. Yeah.
I'm surprised Dom Perignon isn't just a name.
No,
That's
Dom.
actually
Yeah.
something
So Dom Perignon. I always tell people if you're going to drink the first 10 years, you're just wasting your money. It's not worth drinking.
Get an older one.
Oh yes, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dom Perignon wait at least 10 years from the time you buy it, not from the time it's released.
Now I understand.
So right now, I think they're currently on the 2014 or the 2013. It's already about 10 years old. Don't drink it. Wait 10 years from now.
Gotcha.
Once it's about 20 years old, then crack it open.
If you got money, you don't want to wait.
You know what makes me sad? You know what makes me so sad? When our former employer first opened, Dom Perignon was selling for $120. You know how much I regret not buying it back then?
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's like, yeah,
oh
it's
my
been
God.
some time now.
Oh.
It was $120 a bottle, and now it's like $187.97. And I'm like, damn it, I would have saved myself $60. And back then we were selling like the 2008s. No, it was like the 2010s or the 11. No, they didn't make 11. 2007, 6 maybe. Yeah, it was a 2006 that we were selling. So yeah, so any kind of vintage, like they're called Prestige Cuvée. So you got your Bollinger, Grand Année / your RD. Those are going to be great. If you're going to get that orange label one, make sure it's La Grande Dame. That's the one that comes in the fancy squat bottle. Pretty much any champagne that has a year on the label, that can age very well. That's a vintage champagne. But that's a story for another time. But yeah, those are the wines or the champagnes you should be waiting for your 10th, 15th, 20th anniversary. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be a pleb, buy yourself a Sauterne about 2 years after your wedding. That will be magnificent on your 50th anniversary. I wish you guys a long married life.
Wow. That is... Now, Victor's not a person of marriage quite.
I fucking hate kids.
But if Victor is telling you to actually celebrate your wedding, you know it's serious.
Yes.
Okay, so there it is. Victor's got to get home, so here we go.
Yeah, so you got to get home. Sadly, the dogs are calling.
The dogs are calling. All right, so the feature table for today, by the way, if you want to be on this feature table, you can contact us, podcast@speedy.net. And if you want to even help us when those people don't call and contact us, because, realistically, we're a small podcast, but we want you to subscribe and comment and like and all this stuff. But you can also go to ko-fi.com. Anything you donate will go straight to the table.
Yes.
And what we have here today is these just came in today, like literally, like as Victor.
Yeah, I was like My Chemical Romance. I'm like, huh.
As Victor was coming in, I was unboxing these in real life, but I saw these. It was weird. It's like the pre-order page for these were like blank, zero detail. I didn't even know what these were going to look like. I didn't know what they were going to look like a day before they arrived. But what we have here is vintage style figures, 4-inch figures. But what they sent to us, to me, I was just like, Victor, you can't keep these.
Yeah, no, I don't get action figures.
Is My Chemical Romance, inspired by the Danger Days album, and it's the band members in their little outfits from the lore of the album.
I thought Party Poison was wearing a Pepsi uniform. I was like, the fuck? It doesn't fit in.
I agree with that. But I never had. I was telling Victor that I never grew up with 4-inch figures or this like packaging style of it. So I'm sure it's very nostalgic for people who grew up with those. But I have none of that nostalgia. I just love the band. The band's amazing in my eyes. But anyways, other than that, we have whatever the heck is. I just bought this because everyone was hyped on it. That's literally the only reason why I bought it. Everyone was just like, "Oh my god, do you have plenty for president? Do you have plenty for president? Do you have plenty for president?" And I was
Isn't
just
it
like,
the same plenty as it is just a new label?
my controversial taste of it because I had it fresh and cold the other night.
It's a triple.
I'm pretty sure it's a repackaged.
Yeah, it looks the goddamn.
It even says Planet Elder anyway, so I'm pretty sure. I'm
and
like
it still says triple hop.
I'm like 98% sure.
I think it's just the label that they probably see. People are gonna probably just even Pliny on the back of the bottle tells you, "Hey, they don't now." Sacrilege.
Yeah, this one doesn't have like a bunch of.
Yeah. They usually tell you, "Drink me by this date. Do not age me," and then this one just doesn't. So maybe this is just a collectible bottle that they're just like, let's just throw some Pliny to shit because people are just gonna keep this with the label.
Disclosure: I'm just gonna finish it tonight.
Yeah.
And over here. We have Victor's going to describe this to us, but this was his first like wine gift. Victor's given me gifts before, but this is his first wine gift to me. Victor, what do we have here?
So
I'm sure we explained it before.
Yeah, so I have a very fond memory of this winery. So this was a winery that I visited on my very, very first wine trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like period. So I was up in Sonoma County, and I remember back then I was in love with Rodney Strong. I got some opinions on them now. But anywho, so I just Googled, some random places, and I'm like, oh, there's this place called Blanchard. And so super tiny operation. I mean, he's literally out of a little shack, like way on the outskirts of Healdsburg. And so we showed up, and it's just him, like the owner / winemaker / proprietor. And it's just us. And he's all like, hey, how you doing? My name is Mark and blah, 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 blah.
Down to earth?
Yeah, super down to earth. And so he's from, I think, Peoria, Illinois. But anywho, so back then, this wasn't a bottle that I picked up on my first time, but this was the winery I went to. And I remember back then, like, I hadn't gone to wineries, and this guy just showed, like, the best hospitality. He gave us Beryl samples. He let us taste a whole bunch of stuff. Back then, I wasn't making a lot of money. I was working on my previous employer prior to that. And I just remember thinking, like, damn, how can I repay you, And so I'm like, look, man, I'm not rich. He's like, don't even sweat it. And I was sold at that point. I'm like, my guy, when I have money, I'm coming back here and spending some money. And sure enough, on this trip, that's exactly what happened.
Nice.
So I went back, I joined the club, and I was all like, okay, Mark, I want to buy some stuff to age. He's all like, oh, the Syrah's perfect. And so sure enough, I tasted the Syrah. Oh my God, I tasted that Syrah in 2016, 2017, I think. And oh my God, back then, this was just a hodgepodge of fresh plums, of barbecue sauce, of olives, of like molasses, of fruit jam. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Back then, it was super grippy, very tannic, very acidic. And I forget exactly why I gave you this bottle.
You just thought like, I want Victor to just have it and maybe if he wants to age it.
I forgot why I gave it to you. Yeah, because I'm like, I remember very well that I'm like, I bought like 3 or 4 of these. And I still have the other 2 in my storage. And look at that. Dry Creek Valley. Another story to be told on another day. Syrah exists in the Dry Creek Valley. Yes, it does.
Is my cork smaller?
No, the cork is fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that Syrah I would probably say has about 2 more years to go before it's ready to pop open. And then at that point, it'll probably hold for another like 10 or 15.
A hold at that aging or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say at least 2 more years before you want to drink it. And then after that, it'll hold for another 10 or 15. Syrah can age a very, very long time.
Well, damn, Victor, I genuinely love that story. And now it makes the bottle even better.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I see Blanchard. I'm just like, oh, back when I was a little newbie. So that's the little heartfelt story about Blanchard family wines.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. I really appreciate it. Again, please spread the show around. We want it to be bigger because the bigger it gets, the better the bottles, the better the trips.
If you want to see us drink, if you want to see us drink a 1927 Boal, please make it happen. I would love nothing more than to be sitting in sophisticated chairs and saying, Victor, we're about to have 100-year-old wine.
Oh my god.
And you're about to be.
I'm gonna have heart palpitations during it.
I already feel the humble pie being served to me. I know I'm gonna take a sniff of that wine. It's gonna say, "I'm back, bitch. You're still not ready for me."
I mean, hell, if we're so young that I can say outrageous shit like, if we get 50 subscribers, Victor will eat a pumpkin pie.
Yeah. So. No, that is never happening.
Maybe that's 100 subscribers.
Mark my words. I will never sell myself for pumpkin pie.
What number of subscribers do you want to see to eat pumpkin pie, Victor?
None.
No, wait. Okay.
Pumpkin pie is not. I will not eat baby food as an adult.
I'll do it for 5,000 subscribers.
Victor will eat a pumpkin pie. We get one more subscriber. You don't got to twist his arm or twist whatever the hell it is to make him eat pumpkin pie.
Me, I'm eating pumpkin pie the second this guy leaves.
Now, I will never touch a pumpkin pie. Never. But I might be convinced to maybe try a sweet potato pie. I do like sweet potatoes.
We're making progress, ladies and gentlemen.
50 more subscribers, I'll try a piece of sweet potato pie.
And with that, we bid you adieu.
Yeah, adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.